Howdy, howdy. Welcome on into the pre-show before the free show. Or I guess, hey, hey. I don't say howdy, howdy.
You don't say howdy,
I
howdy.
say hey, hey.
That's stolen valor.
That is
stolen valor.
Correct.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the pre-show before the free show. So next week we'll be in
Next week's a busy week.
Next week's a really busy week for us.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of stuff just going on around here,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're all going to pack up. But before we pack up, I guess we mentioned this at the end of yesterday's show, but we'll continue to mention it. Next Friday, it is, you won't have to see my stupid face here. So already a win for everybody.
My face and Pickle's face.
You'll see it's a WTF takeover.
Mm-hmm.
And on that WTF takeover, I should move this microphone. It's kind of on this WTF takeover, there will be a major, I would say, seismic Dave Campbell's Texas football announcement.
This is like, I don't know how to put it into words. This is a company-changing announcement, wouldn't you say? Possibly for the better.
I think it's pretty big.
It's pretty big. We teased it on WTF yesterday. We have been working on this project for about 5 months now. Still not done, but it's getting closer and closer to being done. Yeah. And we are very, very, very excited for it.
So I have a question. You guys are the most powerful women in sports media in Texas. I think that's fair to say, right?
Okay.
Who else has a podcast called Women Talking Football?
That's true.
Literally nobody.
WTF.
Are you guys getting fired up that about the the World Cup. Do you know the World Cup's coming up?
I do know. I do.
Okay.
I'm not like I've said this on here before. I'm not a huge soccer fan.
Yeah, you're not.
I will glance up at the TV every time like it's just like yeah, and I'm like ugh, what a. So I'll look up and then I'll.
But
I'm
but
not
you are an America fan.
I am an America fan.
You love America. We've had long talks, you and I, about how much you love America.
Correct.
I mean, I love America too. I should be clear, but like, so the United States women will get going on their first game is 2 weeks from today. It's July 21st. They take on Vietnam. I believe.
Okay.
I believe it's. Are these Central Time? I think they're God's times on right now. I think it's adjusted. So 8 p.m. The funny thing is, so they've got 3 games. They've got 3 games in group stage. Okay. So they're going to play Vietnam, and then they will play. Let me make sure of this. I think then they play the Netherlands.
Okay.
And so those games they can because there's big money involved, they can kind of move the things around. Because if you didn't know, the Women's World Cup is in Australia. It's in New Zealand.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Both or?
I think it's in both. I think it's in both New Zealand and Australia.
That rocks.
So it's down there in Oceania. So it's on the other side of the world. But they can manipulate the game times, the start times for an American audience because that's where the big money is.
Right.
And so they will those first 2 games are 8 o'clock Central. Okay. Or I'm sorry, 8 o'clock Central, which is great. Awesome. 8 p.m. Nice little nightcap. Watch the United States destroy Vietnam and then play the Netherlands, who will be a tough out.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
But then, and I want to put this on your radar.
Okay.
Tuesday, August 1st, their final group stage game, they play Portugal.
That's a big jump.
Yeah, it is. I think.
Why is it? Why is there like a couple weeks in between?
It's every 4 days. No, it's 21st.
Oh, okay. I don't know how
like
the
every
schedule
4 days, yeah.
plays out. Okay, nice.
They play like every 4 days, 5 days, something like that.
Okay.
Tuesday, August 1st, they will play. So I guess that's 6 days. They will play Portugal, but because of the way the group stages work, and you don't want teams gaming the system of saying, oh, hey, like intentionally, there are situations where you can intentionally lose and still advance and stuff like that, and they don't want that. So the final group stage matches all happen at the same time. They all happen concurrently, so you can't game the system, right?
Okay.
Makes sense.
It does make sense.
So that means that the United States and Portugal on Tuesday, August 1st will kick off at 2 a.m.
Whew.
And my question to you, Mallory Hartley,
tough.
You said you love America.
I do. Do
you want to do a watch party?
The question is, do I love America enough to do a watch party at 2 a.m.?
What a great question.
I do love America.
Many people are asking, do you love America enough to stay up until 2 a.m.? And what's funny is that they may have almost nothing to play for at that point. Like if they romp, they should romp Vietnam. They should be the Netherlands. I think they're better than them.
Yeah.
And like if they're up far enough, then they would have to lose by this huge margin to Portugal, which they wouldn't. There may be nothing to play for. But also, I do love weird sports.
You have to be
weird sports includes weird timing.
Right.
I don't know.
So on that same note, my uncle is from New Zealand, so he's a big All Blacks fan, the rugby team over there, and they're always playing at weird times. So he's used to be staying up until like 2 a.m. to watch a match or whatever.
So if you remember, and maybe you didn't work here quite yet, I don't think, during the pandy.
I was an intern, but I wasn't full time.
Do you remember vaguely me becoming best friends with an Australian footy team?
No, I don't.
Australian rules football team?
No.
Okay, we're gonna save this for this will be my intro for Mailbag Friday. So we'll table this for about 20 minutes.
Interesting.
But then I will recap that and I'll tell you why I brought that up. Anyway, hit the theme expo. Pickle. Hit the air sign. Yes, y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show on the internet. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine, texasfootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live, texasfootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all the places, or you'll listen to the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I'm sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She is my Mal Pal. She's your Mal Pal. She is QB2. She is, oh boy, I didn't think of a backup quarterback.
Shane Buechele.
Shane Buechele. She's Shane Buechele. She's Mallory Hartley.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Mal Pal.
Happy to be here.
You want to tell us about your shirt?
Oh, I do want to tell you about my shirt. Yeah, we Pickle and I got some care packages from the Mean Green Sports Athletic Department to rep the fact that we are now officially a part of the American Conference. So I am super excited, and I want to get a call of that. So take flight.
You're so biased.
Nuh-uh. I stay pretty especially in the Republic of Football, I stay pretty every once in a while my homework will come out of me, but I stay pretty.
You don't hide it. But you are a realistic and I think rational North Texas fan.
Yeah.
Is the way to frame it.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Is that you are somebody that you do not let. There are people who if they're a Cowboys fan, right?
Yeah.
Then there's Cowboys going to win every game. Cowboys going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I'm surprised whenever they're within 4 touchdowns.
Yes.
With anybody,
I am not
like
optimistic. I'm a realist.
Right. Yeah. Today is Friday, July 7th, 2023. It is 139 days until Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to golly. Do you have any friends who have a birthday today? Because this website is letting me down.
Who's the first one on there?
Oh, it's just all TikTok people. This is what it is. Ready?
Okay.
This is in order because it lists name and then their what they're known for. YouTube star, skateboarder.
I don't know any.
It's a 15-year-old.
I know one skateboarder.
Drummer, Ashton Irwin, who is the drummer for 5 Seconds of Summer.
Okay.
He turns 29 today. Happy birthday to Ashton Irwin. TikTok star, Instagram star. YouTube star, TV actor I've never heard of, TikTok star, model who's 13, which makes me very tense, pop singer, and then Ringo star. So there's your top 12.
Not a strong list
on
today.
famousbirthdays.com. It's episode 1614, I think. On today's show, folks, we're going to hear from the barbecue guru himself, Ray Gates, who had North Crowley cooking last year. We'll talk to him coming up here in just a moment. And back half the show, it's Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday. We're answering your questions about high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, anything you got. Let us know in the comments. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll get to as many as we can going up until about 12:30 today. So get your questions in. Do we have first 4 through the door? Malbell?
We sure do. It was Andrew Christensen, Aaron R. Buckle, Tony Blaylock, and Zill0678. Welcome in, y'all.
Welcome in, friends. We appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us. All right, Mallory, while we were at State 7-on-7, we got to watch 128 teams across the state play a little bit of touch football. And one of the advantages of going out there is we get to catch up with a number of coaches. One of them, the head coach, North Crowley, the Panthers, coming off of a fantastic season, which they ran all the way to the regional final, I want to say.
Yeah, they did.
I want to say they were the regional final, or at least regional.
It was a good run.
But we caught up with their head coach, barbecue cooking man, Ray Gates, there at North Crowley. Here is Matt Stepp's conversation with Ray Gates, North Crowley, here on Texas Football Today. Greg Tepper, Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com here at the State 7-on-7 tournament in Balmy College Station with the head coach of the North Crowley Panthers. Coming off a big win. It's Ray Gates. Coach, how are you, my friend?
Doing well, thank you.
Are you better now that you guys have a win under your belt?
Absolutely. You come down here, you want your kids to play well, and when y'all threw us in there with some really good teams, starting out with Manville, very athletic team, and our guys came out and fought well, 26-20 win.
So I'm always interested in talking with coaches whenever you come to an event like this. Obviously, you're going to run schemes that are close to what you want to run on Friday nights. But what are you looking to see from your guys in a situation like this?
For me, it's always number one, competitive spirit. You know, I want to see our guys get out, compete. When you come to the state 7-on-7 tournament, you know you're going to play against really good quality teams and guys that have multiple offers. So I want to see our guys get out and compete. Number one, and then number two, we want execution. How are we executing on our schemes from an offensive standpoint in the passing game, and then defensively, how we're tightening up our coverages. So those are two big things I'm looking for today.
This would be a different conversation if you were 0-1, though.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if we'll be doing this interview right now if we were 0-1.
I've known you for a while, and I know that you hate losing more than you love winning.
Absolutely.
Now that you've had an opportunity, looking back on 2022, a special year, 12-1. I know it didn't end, in a state championship like everybody's hoping, but when you take a look back on 2022, now you've had some time. How do you assess what you guys were able to do?
Well, we laid the foundation, and that was huge. I didn't know it was going to end up in a 12-1 season. Going into a job like North Crowley, first-time head coach, there are a lot of things that can easily go against you. But when you hire good people and you allow them to do what you have hired them to do, and then when you couple that with really good kids and parents in a community who's hungry for championship football, then you get the byproduct that we had this year. And so all of those things came together. It was a perfect storm. And like I said, we have had the opportunity to lay the foundation. And so now the expectation is, every year, 3 rounds deep, bare minimum for us. So that's what we're hoping to do again this year.
Because the thing about watching your guys, when we would see just neutral fans, you're looking like man, for a guy with a first-year coach, these guys are bought in. It felt like you never doubted that you had everybody pulling the rope in the same direction.
Well, I believe, number one, our energy is contagious, and the way that we approach practice, it's no different than a game. So when you come and you watch us in practice, the energy level that we expect from our kids, we also show as coaches. And so when you have that cohesiveness between the coaches and the players, then that expectation is what you get every week. And one of the hardest things to do in high school football, one of the hardest things to do on Saturdays when you see guys are playing in college and even on the NFL, is to get your guys up week after week, even when they get to a point to where they realize that they're pretty good, and maybe the opponent that they have, may be a lesser opponent, but we always frame it with a headless opponent approach, and we try to stay consistent, from week in to week out. So I thought we did a really good job of that last year.
Looking forward to your 2023 squad. Do you have a feeling quite yet on how this year's team may be different from last year's team?
Well, games aren't won on paper, but I do feel like this group that we have this year is a more athletic team. I think we have a lot more weapons on the offensive side of the ball. We have 3 Division I receivers, a quarterback who is also a Division I quarterback. We have, a running back who's a 4-star guy. So I think we have a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball. And then you back that up on defense with 2 Division I D tackles. You got multiple guys in the secondary that are offered and talented guys. And then we have, 4 linebackers that are coming back from that group last year. So we're really excited about this group. But again, like everything else, it all has to come together. The ingredients have to taste right when you bake it. And so 2023 is a different year. And so, we definitely won't get paid off of 2022. And so we're trying to stay focused on what the future holds. But I feel like we have the bullets in the gun to go do it again.
And finally, Coach, we're out here. It's hot. We're all trying to stay cool. You're a man who spends a lot of time outside, specifically around a pit. And so you have to be an expert in staying cool. Do you have any tips and tricks for us to stay cool?
Well, right now, pop up a tent, get you something cold to drink, and whatever it is that you do, that's what you need to do. So I don't have any great tricks.
Nothing special.
I'll tell you what I do have today. I bought the Ryobi, 10-inch fan. The cordless, so we have that. And, Deion Sanders, was promoting the Icy Breeze cooler, so we bought one of those for our kids.
Okay.
So, Deion, hey, put me on payroll, put me on tab. I'm promoting the Icy Breeze. So if you're going to beat the heat, that's what we're doing.
It's Ray Gates, head coach North Crowley. Coach, appreciate your time, man.
Absolutely appreciate it.
Ray Gates, head coach of the North Crowley Panthers, joined us here. Texas football today caught him there at the THS. Take 2. Couple of corrections. 1, that was not at the THSCA coaching school. That was State 7-on-7. And 2, that was not Matt Stepp doing the interviewing. That was me. I have slept since then. But, yeah. Anyway, we appreciate Ray Gates. Excited to see what they do kind of for an encore there in his second year, because what a debut he had there with North Crowley. Excited to see what they do again this year. But they're loaded. They looked really good out there at 7-on-7. They looked good on the hoof, I'll tell you that much. We appreciate his time. We're Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. TexasFootball.com is where you can find complete coverage of high school football, college football, and recruiting all across the Lone Star State. Please consider going to TexasFootball.com/subscribe for all your football needs. If you're looking for the magazine, it is starting to hit store shelves across the state.
I've heard, yeah.
It is not everywhere. Like, we're now in that weird in-between time where it's on some store shelves but not all store shelves. Mm-hmm. So I would call ahead to the store. Your local grocery store is the best bet. See if they have them. There's a chance that, the truck hasn't gotten there yet. Mm-hmm. There's also a chance that they have them and they're just sitting in the back and nobody's stocked them yet. So, like, I would call ahead. But, yeah. And so if you go to your local store, you can get it. But also, you can go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe and we'll mail you one. So,
love it.
Do
it.
And you get Texan Live. You like Texan Live, right?
I love Texan Live. Do you want to watch a ton of sports?
If you like sports.
Like so many sports.
Football,
basketball, water polo, soccer. What else did we stream?
Baseball, softball.
Tennis.
Do you guys do tennis?
No, we do cross country.
Cross country. Yeah. Anyway, TexasFootball.com/subscribe. You get all that. Now, a word from these goods and services.
Born and bred in Texas hits a little different, as it should. Texas loves doing business with fellow Texans. VCR Now takes its Texas roots as seriously as its many partnerships with schools and universities around the state. It's also why we're so proud to promote our brand in the pages of the Texas Bible, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and on the airwaves of Texas Football Today. Driven by producing quality broadcast video, state-of-the-art audio, and LED video scoreboards at affordable prices, VCR Now makes sure to listen to your needs in its athletic department before recommending the next best steps. Building great products is our business, and it's our focus on building meaningful, long-term partnerships with our clients that sets us apart. From our 24/7, 365-day help desk, the training lab in our hometown of Red Oak, or our sports marketing business plan that puts money back in the hands of our athletic departments we support, VCR Now is built to last. Reach out to us today at info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW. Again, that's info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW.
The Gambling Gauchos are a Texas Tech podcast serving you money lines, memes, and matador content on Twitter, YouTube, and StakeInThePlains.com.
Well, let's put it this way. They pay me off in tortillas, I'm going to shoot them right in the eye.
If you're looking for more Big 12 sports content from a host who wants a 25 tacos in 20 minutes and another that can provide a taco bites per minute analytical breakdown of the feed, then Rob and Kyle are the hosts for you. New episodes every Sunday and Thursday on the Republic of Football podcast feed.
And now, Mallory, it's time for Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday.
The North Texas Honda dealers want to help you score some great deals on award-winning Hondas. Stop by your Helpful Honda dealer today or visit ntxhondadealers.com to learn more.
If you got questions about high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, anything you got, let us know in the comments, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Okay, as promised in the pre-show, this was back 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Now more than 3 years ago. That's when the pandemic started, more than 3 years ago. Do you know that?
That just seems crazy to me. Like,
so because
it's gone by so fast.
I'll just tell you that it is a really interesting it's a really interesting situation in my house because we had Hank around during that time. So watching him grow,
right.
You have a benchmark, but then also Max and Hank's birthday is 2 days apart, right? To be clear, 3 years and 2 days apart, or no, it's technically 2 years and 363 days, right? So, but right at 3 years.
Yeah.
So, right now, we have all these vivid memories of being at home with Hank, and Max is the exact same age that Hank was whenever we were home. Mm-hmm. Anyway, during the pandemic, I made friends down in Australia because Australian rules football was one of the last things to get canceled, and I was watching and I tweeted about it. And then suddenly they were starved for content, and so I was on an Australian sports talk radio show in the morning, morning drive in Melbourne, And then the Sydney Swans reached out, and they asked me to do some content for them, which basically
The Sydney Swans.
Sydney Swans, the Bloods.
Okay.
They were up the Bloods, guys. They asked me basically to like record my reaction of watching apparently like one of their most famous plays. They had like a real big comeback. It's probably the equivalent. Like it would be probably be like the equivalent of like watching the last Texas drive against USC in the 05-06
right.
national
Okay.
championship game, and then like reacting to it blind because I'd never seen it.
Right.
It was a nice comeback. It was a cool comeback, and like I had a vague idea of what was going on, but like they were like, "Oh, this is cool. Here's an American who kind of knows what's going on, reacting to our biggest moment." So I did that for them. It was like social media content.
That's really cool.
All that's to say is I became a big Sydney Swans fan, and so like I still keep up with them, like on a very like base level. Like I follow them on social media.
Yeah.
But what'll happen is that it will, because we were talking about weird times for like time zones and games starting in other parts of the world. Almost all their games kick off at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. But what'll happen is that like I'll wake up to go for a run. And then I'll get back from my run, and I'll be, like, flipping through Twitter, and, like, Twitter's dead at 5 o'clock in the morning. But except for, like, I'm getting score updates from the Sydney Swans. And so, like, yeah, I keep up with them, and I still get their notifications. It's not going great. They played in the Super Bowl last year, their Super Bowl, the grand final.
And
last
to be
year.
clear, this is rugby, right? Like
It
this
is Australian
not
rules football. It is kind of like
Australian rules football. Okay.
It is kind of like Calvin ball. It is kind of make up your own rules. But no, it is very cool, and it's kind of a combination of, I would say, like rugby, soccer.
Okay.
It is really, it's like a much more wide open rugby is kind of the way I would say.
Gotcha.
Because rugby can be a bit of a slog.
Yeah,
but anyway,
rugby's tough.
Rugby's tough. But they're knocking the doo-doo out of each other. Anyway,
They really are.
shout out to the Sydney Swans. Love you boys. All right. Mallory, do we have any questions from the people?
Yes, we do. Okay. This one's really fun. In a zombie apocalypse, what 3 high school head football coaches do you want with you?
Okay, this is easy. Zombie apocalypse. 1, Bill Elliott from Salina.
Okay.
Okay? Jacked. Like he's the heavy. He's the muscle, right?
Okay.
I want him. I need a tactician, right? I need somebody who's going to be doing a lot of thinking for us.
Mm-hmm. Like who? You know who?
Here we go.
You know who I'm taking in that stance?
Okay.
Scott Surratt.
Good
thinker.
That's a good call.
Really good
like
thinker,
thoughtful.
Analytic.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Scott
he's going
Surratt.
to find the hole in the defense and
Correct.
he's going to exploit it.
Correct.
Right. So you've got the muscle in
Yep.
Bill Elliott. You've got the brains in Scott Surratt, and I think you need a wild card. Like you need somebody who just like is willing to risk it all.
Marcus Shavers.
Do whatever. Marcus
Shavers
is a really good combo platter of all that because he's also a big dude, and so
Yes.
like he could be helpful in that.
Just like a bodyguard.
But
like,
he's also
hitting
just like
through.
wild enough that like he could get it done. Like
Yep.
there's a little crazy guy in a fight in Marcus Shavers. And so yeah, I think that's my trio: Bill Elliott, Scott Surratt, and Marcus Shavers, with an honorable mention.
Maybe like a hunter or something, for like food resources.
Yeah, you do. Like there's a lot of it because here's what's concerning to me about that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have like a real live country boy in that mix. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like there would be a real advantage to getting like just a dude who's got a deer lease and it's just like out there like working.
Right.
So like, but those are
Like
those
in
are.
East
I'm
Texas
thinking big picture skills. I'm thinking like soft skills instead of like a hard skill. So I'm gonna say those are my trio. There you go.
That's a big group.
I'm feeling good.
That's a clutch.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about surviving.
I think so too. All right, let's go with who are some 6A schools not from Dallas, Houston, or Austin that you could see winning a state title in the next 10 years or so?
A 6A state championship, right?
Yes,
So
it says 6A schools. Yeah.
You'll be happy to know I got a report from my wife, who's home with the boys. Max, who's our 1.5-year-old, is reading a copy of Texas Monthly and just looking for pictures of horses. So, support print media.
That's cute.
We just need
Aw.
more. We just need more pictures of horses in
more
our
in
magazine
Texas
and
Monthly.
like skyrocket. You know what I
We
mean?
need
What
one
if
in
we
the,
did Dave Campbell's
in the
for
summer
kids?
edition. Yeah.
Dave Campbell's, for kids.
There's a market there. There's a market
$1 billion
there.
idea. Okay, 6A program not from basically a major metro area.
metroplex.
So he said, "No, time out. It was DFW, Houston, or Austin."
Austin, yes. So
San Antonio
is
counts?
still on the plate, I guess.
Cibolo Steel, I think, is a great chance. I think
Yeah.
San Antonio, Brennan. I'm bullish on what Reagan is building down there in San Antonio. I could go with a team like that. Boy, I mean, you're just really. I mean, there's always those teams from Central Texas,
Yeah.
right? That like Temple or Harker Heights
Temple's a good one. Yeah.
has an opportunity, I think, to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I am less bullish on the teams out west, bullish on El Paso teams and teams in the Little Southwest Conference, simply because I don't think the demographic shifts and I don't think that the population shifts have favored them in that regard. So I would say you would look to those would be the teams. The other option would be, I guess one of the issues.
There's most of the 6A schools are in those major metropolitan
the question
areas.
is, it's like, all right, like who from East Texas is 6A? Like Tyler Legacy.
Yeah.
Well, like they're kind of down right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I would say from a 6A perspective, you're really limiting yourself. So the easy answer would be the best team in San Antonio.
Or down in the RGV, I mean.
Cibolo Steel, maybe Judson puts it all together again. But I would say, yeah, I just don't think – I think the Rio Grande Valley – the problem for them is that they're going to run into those Austin teams.
Exactly.
And they have just – now, San Antonio has not been able to get past those Austin teams, right? But most, like, when the Rio Grande Valley teams have gone up against them, it just has not been – it's just they've gotten drubbed. Like, for example, like San Benito. Okay, San Benito and Harlingen were, in my opinion, the two best teams from the Valley in 6A last year, right?
Yes.
They met. They got to Valley Week, third round of the playoffs, the regional semifinals. Harlingen lost to Dripping Springs 45-0, and San Benito lost to Westlake 44-7. That gap is wide right now. That gap is real wide. So it would probably be a team from San Antonio, but then again, Brennan got beat by 40 by Westlake, right, in the regional final. So that's the issue.
That's just the issue.
Right
They're
now,
running into
those gaps
Yeah.
between the major metro areas and specifically between DFW, Houston, and Austin and everyone else is just really wide. Because the same thing goes with now the closest we came to would be like Midland Legacy. Midland Legacy last year played Keller, who was a good team from DFW, the 10-win team. They played them close, 23-21, but like Keller then went and they got beat by 40 by Louisville, right? So that, again, I'm not trying to downplay, but right now there's very clear power centers in 6A.
Yeah.
And they're around major metro areas.
Right.
So I'm not
just
trying to
how
be a
it is.
defeatist. I'm just trying to be
A realist.
an honest arbiter of what's going on.
Right.
I don't want to blow smoke. Everyone's got a shot, and everyone could have that special group that comes through and makes that run. But right now, it's just hard to see because those gaps are really wide right now.
Right.
So
Right.
there's a long answer to a short question.
Correct.
What a special answer.
Let's go with, will you guys ever go to the TASO state convention? And this was asked by our very own Aaron Arbuckle, who we saw at State 7-on-7.
So the Texas Association of Sports Officials, which, by the way, go to taso.org, I believe, is where you can sign up to be an official and help out. We've talked about on this show many times about how there's an official shortage, which, in my opinion, is an existential threat to the sport. An existential threat to extracurricular activities and extracurricular sports, interscholastic sports in Texas. So go to taso.org and sign up, or encourage a friend to sign up, or encourage a young man or woman in your life to sign up, or just be nice to officials. We have that. All that is to say, as far as the TASO convention, it's their annual meeting. They have it. I believe it's in Dallas. It's in a couple of weeks. The issue is, here's the short answer, probably not.
Yeah.
Here's the long answer. The reason why probably not is that there's just not a whole lot there for us. It serves a much different purpose than the THSCA coaching school. THSCA coaching school is an opportunity for us to be around a lot of coaches and gather content, right? That's what we're doing. TASO, that is basically like It's fun. I imagine they have a good time. I know they have like a poker night and stuff like that.
Oh,
but like
fun.
it's a meeting is what it is. It's
not necessarily a convention.
It's not a convention,
really.
it's a meeting.
Right.
And it's like they're getting together, they're talking about rule changes, they're talking about like they want to do there are classes, I believe, on like how to improve and become a better official and things like that. That's great. But like from a content gathering perspective, there's just not a whole lot of like juice in that squeeze.
Yes.
For us. And so what I'd rather do, and we're probably overdue for it, is to have somebody like Bill Theodore from TASO come in, and like we can just do like a state of officiating like roundtable. We've done that a couple of times over the course of Texas Football Today history, and we're probably overdue for it. So yeah, I think we should probably do that. So anyway, that's my thought.
I like that.
So sorry, the answer is probably no, but I hope you understand our reasoning.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's next?
Who is a school without a title who might get one in the next few years? So let's go.
So we're
We
talking-
can, any classification.
So we're talking first-time state champions.
Yes. Yes.
Right? First-time state champions. And we had a couple last year. Hawley was a first-time state champion. There's another. Albany. No, Albany has a title, but before the Denny Faith era.
Yeah.
DeSoto had a title.
I'm trying to think back on who the
Duncanville
state
had a title.
champions were.
I'm running
Feels
through
like
them real quick.
so
It
long
was
ago.
forever ago. And then we have Benjamin. Benjamin was a state champion first time. Okay. Teams that do not have a state championship that could get them the next couple of years. I think Vandegrift really is on the cusp.
Yeah.
Last year,
one.
obviously, their run in the state championship game did not finish the way that they wanted to, but I think they're really on the cusp. That's a team that I think keep an eye on. They're going through a coaching change. Well, here's a couple. Both within Region 2 of 5A Division 1. And Region 2 of 5A Division 1 is tough, but both Lancaster and Mansfield Timberview, I think, have an opportunity.
Timberview was dang good last year.
They really were. Now, Timberview will have a new coach.
Right.
And that's troubling. But I think they've got an opportunity to continue what they've done because they've been very good. I'm bullish on, like, Fulshire. I think from a new program perspective, I think they've got an opportunity to really make some noise.
Step said Timpson.
Timpson
He's
is
really
a big
good with
threat
Terry
this
Bussey.
year. They've never won a title, and they're going to be a threat this year, most certainly, to win a title.
Has Silsby won a title before?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think
I wanna say
they were
that's a
pretty
no.
young last year. I think they were just a year short of
No,
it. But with
Silsby's never even
Draylon,
been.
Draylon Miller's final year as a senior this year.
Yeah,
they could do
Silsby's
it.
going to have an opportunity to make some noise. I think they've got it. I think, not to spoil the magazine, but like, I don't think Harmony was a flash in the pan. And if you wanna hop on board that bandwagon, I think they've got an opportunity to at least play for a state championship. And then I'll throw. I want to say they don't have one. Yeah, I'll throw one more out there, and it's a little bit off the board. A team that we are very bullish on this year is New Home.
Yes, we were
2A
kind of high
Division
on
2.
them last. Well, they
were state
they were
semifinalists
surprised
last year. State semifinalists. They won Region 1. They ran Albany in the state semifinal, but New Home is a program that I think has a lot of those hallmarks of a rising power out there in West Texas.
Right.
So keep an eye on them. That's a handful of teams that I don't think have a title that I think have an opportunity to make some noise.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do we have two more, or do we have one more? Those are your options. We don't have time for three more.
Let's do one more, and we'll end it with a good one. If you weren't doing this job, what other job would you be doing?
Digging ditches.
Digging ditches.
I have no other skills. This is it. This is it.
That's what I've always said. I'm like, I went to school for broadcast. I don't have any other skills.
I have the stupidest degree. I have a degree in newspaper journalism.
Right.
What am I going to do with that?
Right.
What I'm going to do, we were talking about the zombie apocalypse earlier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to light it on fire for warmth. Like, what am I going to do? I don't know. I'd probably find. I'm pretty good, and I think you'll vouch for this. I'm pretty good at talking to people.
Yes.
And
You talk a
so
lot.
I would probably find a way to do a job where I can just talk to people.
Yeah.
That's probably what I'd do.
Okay.
And I think that is a soft skill that is transferable to other areas. That's probably what I'd be doing.
It's a tough question.
Yeah. I think I know what you'd be doing. F1 driver. You're like a race car driver.
I don't know. I don't think so.
You
You know what I
could
really want to do?
What?
I really want to be an influencer on TikTok that gets paid to travel places.
Well, everyone wants to do that.
Well, I want to do it more.
Okay.
But realistically, if you're looking at me, knowing who I am, realistically, where do you see me if I was not at this job?
That's a good
Not
question.
in broadcast.
Not in broadcasting. So let's just remove you from media, right? You're
Yes, no media, no sports, nothing. Well, sports, okay, maybe keep sports in there, but like no media.
That's tough because I don't know.
I could see myself being a cheer coach for like a high school.
See, that's so funny because I was going almost completely different.
Okay.
And I was saying I could see you working in like an engineering sector. And here's what I mean.
Okay.
Here's what I mean. One of the things that you and Pickle do very well is take a set of things, organize them in a way, and attack them in the most efficient way possible.
Okay.
I'm thinking, again, this is like third time I'm saying this on this podcast, which is weird, but like soft skills. Those are the types of things that you do that I think are transferable to other things. You're good at that. You're good at gathering a lot of different information, sorting it, like sorting it, narrowing it
to
down,
where it makes sense,
putting it in order, and then attacking that. And so I think from like an engineering perspective or like something like that where you're getting your job is to organize and find efficiencies within those types of things. I think that's something you could do. Like my brother's a civil engineer. And so not civil engineer. He's an engineer and he works for a company that and he works on like efficiencies. I could see you doing something like that. You and people because you're
be good at that.
Your brains are wired in that way.
Right. I like that. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
So I'll take that answer.
Yeah. I might work, I don't know. I might work in like a.
Would you be a politician?
No.
Because you talk a lot. That's what Aaron Arbuckle said.
No.
So Tepper would be a politician.
My political stances would disqualify me.
I just hate politics.
My political stances, we don't need to get into politics, but I don't fall into one category. I'm not I'm hard to put in a bucket.
Right.
And so that's not attractive.
That would not be it. Right.
That's not attractive to politics.
True.
Free thinking is not politics, and thinking with nuance is not conducive to politics. I would honestly, and this is something I've thought about over the years, I might go work for a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Definitely.
Because I don't know, we don't need to get into that, but I don't know, I'm passionate about helping people.
Definitely.
I like making a difference. So anyway, there's that.
I like that.
Okay, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. Of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Ray Gates, head coach at North Crowley, for being our guest. For Mallory Hartley, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please give me your Player of the Year trophy. Go Rutgers.
Yes!
We'll see you Monday on Texas Football Today.